What's up, interwebs? Welcome to the Skyler Grant Podcast, where we go through the only novel I've ever pantsed and finished, and we read a chapter every episode. We are in the second to last chapter of the Skyler Grant book. By the way, I'm
no
Tim Green.
panicking. No panicking.
No panicking.
None.
Um,
What's your name?
I'm Tim. This is my channel, and the chapters are read to you by my good friend Adam Daley of ZOP Gaming.
Hello, everyone.
And as I said, this is the second to last chapter. That means there's 2 more episodes because there'll be a wrap-up episode after the epilogue next week. Now, I will say I'm tempted to add the epilogue in as one because nothing really happens, but who knows?
We could do that.
You know,
There might only be one more episode after this.
Well,
Who knows?
I could just add that on anyway, if I decided separately. Anyway, before we get to the reading of chapter 45.
45.
If you go on to enjoy this episode, why not smash that like button as a prayer to the holy algorithm?
The holy algorithm.
And subscribe because I got writing content on this channel. And I guess if you have a little extra time left over from my channel, you could go check out ZOP Gaming. Only if you're interested in horrible gameplay.
It's not horrible. We're just apathetic about our
You're
gameplay.
horrible at gameplay.
We are quote unquote pro gamers.
Yes, you're horrible at gameplay.
Yes.
Exactly. So you could go check out Adam's channel if you're interested in that type of gameplay.
It would be cool. Thanks.
Or wrestling content.
Yeah, that too.
So, but with all that stuff out of the way, Adam, begin reading the final chapter before the epilogue.
All right. Skyler Grant. Written by Tim R.G. Narrated by Adam Daley. Chapter 45. 5 minutes later. Puff. Jenna, Hillary, and Skyler appeared in the northeast section of the base. They appeared behind a transport truck 100 yards from the storage tanks. They had no clue where any of the security was, and it had to have gotten back to them that Skyler, Hillary, and Jared were gone, and Dr. King would be looking for them. No way he would be looking for outside of the base, but now that they were back on his grounds, they had to be careful. Sure, all he had to do was charge up his energy, shoot it at the tanks, and it would be all over with. But he was tired, and it was one of those things that he could still fight and use his energy blasts, but it took longer for him to charge up. "What are we waiting for?" asked Hillary. "We have no idea where security is," Skyler replied. "It is going to take me a few minutes to charge up, and if we are discovered before that, it's going to be harder to do that having to fight against security." "What are you waiting for? Start charging." Skyler knew it was going to be that simple. If he charged it outright, the base had to have energy sensors that would start freaking out with such a sudden high spike. He was going to have to do this slowly, not to send a bright flashing alarm telling Dr. King and everyone where they were. He closed his eyes and started to focus, and felt the energy start to flow through his body after a few minutes. He felt it, and started to focus it into his arms and into his hands. Took about 5 minutes. When he was ready, he placed his hands in front of him, palms facing each other. Fingers spread, a little white dot appeared in the center between them and quickly swelled to a ball the size of 10-pound medicine ball. Feeling the energy ready in his hands, Skyler opened his eyes and walked around the truck to see the space between him and the tanks filled with jeeps and men behind them with guns pointed at him. He was shocked. So much that the ball of energy in his hands vanished. A second later, Dr. King walked out from behind one of the jeeps. He was only 50 feet away. Seeing this monster, all of Skyler's hate for the man flared. "You weren't going to try to destroy my facility there?" said Dr. King. "That's right. We found out those tanks, the one whose base is ready to go up if you can start a spark. I was going to vent it, but I was thinking about destroying this place once we left to cover up all of those bodies in the basement. You just helped me out. However, it will be you and your friends. Yes, I know Hillary and a young lady who you saved from us behind there as well. Come out, Jenna. You too, Hillary. Skyler turned to see Hillary walk around the back of the truck to join him, but Jenna didn't. Puff. So you know about me, said Jenna, appearing behind Dr. King and holding a knife to his throat. Do you know I could teleport? No, he said. Though teleporting behind somebody who has a lot of men with weapons is not a very smart idea. Skyler watched a man put his gun up to the back of her head. It was only a few inches from it. Skyler, we can kill you all here and cover them up when we blow this place, or you can surrender and you can have a fast death in the huge explosion. Your choice. It wasn't Skyler's choice. Jenna moved to cut Dr. King's throat, and the man fired. Bang! The loud fire of the gun, and he flew back as his gun exploded. Skyler looked to Hillary, who smiled. She had put a force field in the barrel, preventing the bullet from going anywhere. He snapped his head back, knowing what would happen. The other men started to fire. Well, more like they went to fire. Skyler shot his arms out in front of him, clutching his fists closed, and yanked them back to him. Everyone's firearm flew out from their hands. A few held so tight that they flew with their weapons. Skyler quickly shot his arms up and out above his head, so make a Y with his hands open, and all the men flew back. Soldiers flew, hitting the hard pavement, back cracking their heads on the vehicles. None moved when they stopped moving. Dr. King didn't move, but Skyler was not surprised he didn't target him. He watched him carefully. He slowly moved his hand to his side. In a quick, clear motion, he grabbed something, pulled it from free spun slashing Jenna. But he was too slow. With a puff, Jenna appeared right beside Skyler. That was all he was waiting for. Burn in hell! Shouted Skyler. He pulled his arms down to his right side so his left shoulder was pointing towards Dr. King, cupped his hands, a blue spark zapped in between his hands, and energy ripped through the opening in his hands, swelling to the size of a bowling ball. He thrust his hands forward in front of him, his chest opening his hand so both palms faced Dr. King, and a large energy blast shot across the gap between them, slammed into his chest as he turned once again to face him from his failed attack on Jenna. The energy blast sent him flying back through all of the jeeps and men who were down, his feet grinding into the pavement. The blast sent him back 30 feet before the blast stopped, and Dr. King stood hunched over, breathing heavily. His nice shirt and tie burnt, revealing his scrawny chest. He took several deep breaths before he stood up straight and looked right at the three of them. Skyler was not sure what the hell was going on. He smiled, raising his hand palm out, and a beam an inch in diameter shot from it, slammed right into Skyler's chest, knocking him off his feet, back slammed into the pavement, and slid across it for 10 feet before he stopped. He can shoot energy blasts as well, said Jenna. Not exactly, said Dr. King. I can simply absorb any form of kinetic energy and used it how it was used on me, or convert it into my body to help heal quicker. He has the gene? Asked Hillary. No, my dear, he said. As I have said, my artificial gene was ready to be made the second we had the information to put it into it. I injected only hours ago. I couldn't be happier with the results, and you were the one who gave me this great gift. With that, I am thankful, but not enough to let you live. Skyler got up, his back sore from the hard hit and the road rash he had, but he was more alive than he thought he would be after taking such a hit. After everything he, Jenna, and Hillary had gone through, it was time to take it all out on the man responsible. Skyler knew that all alone he was hoping it would come down to this. He didn't want it to end quickly. He wanted to let all of his hatred out. Back on his feet, he smiled. "I'm glad," he said. "I can make it hurt much more before you die." "Sure," said Dr. King, as far away as Skyler was, he could see him roll his eyes, thinking it was already over. "Now!" shouted Skyler. Puff! Jenna appeared right by Skyler. Puff! They appeared right in front of Dr. King. Skyler reached back to swung with all of his weight and strength and slammed his fist right into his gut, forcing him to double over, and he hit him with a hook to his face and then an uppercut. He shot his hands into his chest, threw him back with his telekinesis. Dr. King flew back. Puff! Skyler appeared behind him in the air, threw his knees into his back, grabbed his shoulders, pulled them back so as he fell to the ground, pulled him back onto him, and launched him into the air, shoving his legs up in his power. Puff! Jenna and Skyler appeared above him in the air. Skyler reached back his hands, cupped his energy, flowed into his hands, and he shoved it out right into Dr. King's chest and blasted him. The beam shot him back, and he slammed right into large truck that craved in. Puff! Both appeared right next to Hillary to see Dr. King roll off and land onto the pavement. Skyler knew he was dead, or if not, would be soon, when the impossible happened. He slowly stood up, his back clearly broken, when it suddenly set himself and all the wounds stopped bleeding and healed. He turned and faced them. "Is that all?" He smiled. "No!" shouted Jenna. Puff! She appeared behind him, She appeared behind him, her sword out, going to stab him when she froze. Dr. King looked over his shoulder, smiled again, with a flick of his wrist as a rich person would do to dismiss someone. Jenna flew back through the air. "You can regenerate and use telekinesis?" Skyler asked. "Do you ever listen, my boy?" asked Dr. King, looking back at him. "If I told you I can absorb all kinetic energy, even the energy you use to throw me with your mind, and use it." Puff! Jenna appeared above him. Dr. Hank raised in front and flash of light as a quick energy blast shot from his hand. The blast hit an invisible shield, but the force knocked her back. Puff! She appeared behind him a few feet, and flames ripped from her hands and engulfed him. Hillary raised her hands, putting a force field up to protect Skyler and herself. Jenna kept it up for a minute before she stopped the out-of-control flame throw to show a brunt to a crisp. Dr. King. But it didn't last. He started to move, and the burns healed, and before them stood a naked Dr. King, who was also bald now. "As I was saying, I can use that energy however I want. Speeding up my healing takes not as much energy as you would think it would." "No!" Jenna shot the flames again, and once again, Dr. King was engulfed, but it was only for long the flames died, and Jenna was shocked, and she looked at her hands, then up to see Dr. King standing unharmed. "Those last few attacks, I took all the energy, and it harmed my body, but I cannot also take the energy without harm happening to me. I hope you can see now. You cannot beat me. Hell, you can't even kill me." "I doubt that," said Skyler, shot his arms forward and shot beam of energy. Dr. King laughed and shot a beam of energy. The two slammed into each other, and energy sprayed out as the two fought to see who would be the victory. Skyler had both hands out, while Dr. King used only one hand and kept it even. Puff! Jenna appeared behind him and stabbed her sword into the shoulder of his free arm. "Ah!" shouted Dr. King. His beam flew back at him, but the beam stabilized. He threw her off with telekinesis, reached up, grabbed the sword from his shoulder. It healed and turned and looked at her. "You bitch! It is time you joined your dad." He extended his free arm and shot a blast that hit a field in front of Jenna. He shot another blast, but it hit the same field. This time he shot beam and saw the field. That is when Skyler noticed the field that appeared between his and Dr. Frank beam and was starting to close on him. Skyler stopped with his energy beams to see the force field close and scoop him up into the air and float there. "Let's see how you survive when you run out of air," said Hillary. Skyler was impressed. Not once had Hillary been a distraction, and it was going to be her who ended the man who took a year of her life away from her. Dr. King didn't look scared, even though he could tell the air was quickly running out. He looked at Hillary, raised his hands in front of him, started to squeeze the air, and Hillary's neck started to get tight. Skyler could tell he was choking her from the field, but he was not sure how he could do that through it. "Let him go," said Skyler, but she shook her head. She knew she thought he would run out of air before he choked her to death. Skyler wasn't willing to do that. "Jenna!" Puff. "Yes?" "Is fire all you can do?" "No, I can use all the elements." Skyler liked what he heard. "When I say blast him with the powerful lightning bolt, you can, and keep it going if you can." "Okay." He stood up. "Hillary, let him go now!" The field vanished. Skyler threw his hands in front of him. Dr. King flew back feet from the gates to the natural gas tank. "Jenna!" Clouds appeared instantly, and lightning started to flash, and a large bolt of lightning, larger than anything Skyler had ever seen, cracked down onto Dr. King. It wasn't a flash, it done. No, this bolt kept going. Jenna focused, keeping the electricity flowing from the sky, but Skyler knew she didn't like what she saw. He was clearly absorbing it. "I can't die!" said Dr. King, shouted through the clattering of his teeth. "You sure," said Skyler. "You can absorb kinetic energy, but you have a limit. See if you can absorb all of this." Skyler squinted his eyes, and energy started to swirl in front of him into a ball that began to quickly swell larger and larger. "I can't keep this up," said Jenna. Skyler didn't answer. He just glared at Dr. King, and the energy swirled faster into the ball. In a minute, the ball was large as his chest. "Skyler! Die!" Skyler slammed his fist into the ball floating in front of his chest, and it soared across the lot, crashed into Dr. King's chest as the bolt of lightning ended, and he flew with the giant ball of energy back through the gates into the tanks of gas. And a flash, the tank erupted into flames. A second later, the flash, Jenna, Skyler, and Hillary were forced off their feet by the shock wave and slammed into the pavement. Flames shot over them, but never touched them. It took Skyler a few moments to see the force field protecting them. He could feel the heat coming through. It wasn't enough to hurt them, but it was enough to know that if the field weren't there, they would just be as crisp as Dr. King was after Jenna torched him. The event didn't last more than a few seconds before the flames were gone. Hillary kept the field as smaller explosions could be heard throughout. The three of them got to their feet to see the whole facility was gone, and a large crater was in its place. Skyler saw no sign of Dr. King. Seeing it was over, Jenna walked between Hillary and Skyler, touched their shoulders. Puff.
Adam.
Yes?
I'm not sure. It seemed like you had just a teeny tiny trouble reading a little bit of that. Just a little bit.
Holy crap, dude.
Just a second. Just a second.
Wow. You switch perspectives in the middle of a paragraph without telling anyone you changed perspectives.
I know what you're talking about.
Also, who the hell is Dr. Frank? Where did that character come from?
Dr. Frank King?
Yeah, but it was Dr. King, and then randomly Dr. Frank, and then back to Dr. King.
But Dr. Frank King is his full name.
Yes, but
I know.
at no point otherwise in this book.
No, we've referred to him as Frank King.
I don't think so.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you didn't do that. And also, usually when you go title with someone's title with one name, it's their last name.
Oh, I know. I think it was probably because I was sick and tired of saying Dr. King, so I decided to switch it up. More than likely.
You could have just left it at Frank.
Oh, I know. But
sometimes he's Dr. King, sometimes he's Frank.
But yeah, that's the only thing I could think of is why I switched it up to his first name.
Dr. King and Mr. Frank.
But yeah, so
also the fact that he can't die. Also, he can absorb kinetic energy, but fire isn't kinetic energy.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Lasers are kinetic. Physical is kinetic.
Fires and lasers, same thing.
No, it's
same thing.
God damn it! No,
same thing. Absolutely the same thing in this universe.
It's just.
I'm telling you, Adam. Fires and lasers and all that are the same thing.
Also,
in this
it's
universe.
not really. It's an energy ball, so it's physically hitting him. It's not like lightning. Also, not kinetic energy. It's electricity.
Same thing.
No, it's
in
not.
This universe.
I
keep
it
saying.
Would just punch you.
I'm saying in this universe.
Kinetic energy is physical hit.
I know.
Oh.
Well, because when I looked up, I'm pretty sure I looked this up. I had a superhero database for superpowers.
Yep.
And somehow it fell under, like, him able to absorb energy.
Yes.
Fell under that kind of grander application or something like that. I don't know.
No, there are plenty. Like
I know, but
explaining it that he has the ability to absorb energies.
Yes.
And all forms of energy would be, and then redirected or use.
Yes.
Him being able to use it for healing is such an OP power.
Oh, no.
Like you can't kill that. That means that even after being exploded, he's not dead.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Well, he's not because he comes back. He was going to come back in the next book.
Well, yes, and you can easily explain that.
But he's
dead for the story.
The idea was behind.
He's defeated. I like how you went straight into an anime fight at the end.
Oh no! Oh, that was my Dragon Ball Z. I was tempted to type.
He did the punch. The spread leg, slide back, and then the stand up afterwards with everything like smoking off from him and be like, I can't die.
The whole put to the side. I'm surprised I actually didn't write in Kamehameha.
I know.
I was like, come on, say it. Tell me I put it in there this time. I know I didn't because I read this a while ago, but come on. Somehow make it magically change to Kamehameha. No.
Nope. No, he didn't. He still didn't do it.
I might actually, if I think of it when I get home, I might actually go find one of those audio clips of Goku going like, in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
And just like when he puts it there and then have that say and the sound effect and everything just for that. But yeah, basically this was me trying to pull off Dragon Ball Z in a way of the powers that would allow for it. The only way you could get Skyler up in the sky is through teleportation. He doesn't have it, so Jenna has to be there with him.
Also, once again, Jenna becomes the most, Skyler goes from, hey guys, I'm really low on energy. It's going to take me a long time to build up the energy to be able to do, to send a blast to blow those things up. But I can also immediately have all the energy I need to go into a massive fight.
True, and that was clearly overlooking.
Also, Jenna has a new power.
Hold on. The idea is, I think you could justify that when the power that original energy ball, he didn't really lose it. He still had it in him, so it was ready to go for at least one shot.
Yeah. But then he escalates his power after that. Also, the fact that he hits a code breaker. I saw that. Grabs him by the shoulders, puts his knees up, and falls to the ground back.
No, that was a backstabber.
Oh, it's the same. Oh no, code breaker's to the front. Never mind.
To the chin.
Yeah.
This is the because actually it was more of a fell back. He was more like he grabbed the shoulders. He was pulling him back because he's gonna launch him up.
Yeah, but
that typical anime.
Yeah, it was
style.
You hit them with the code breaker and then kicked them off.
Yeah,
I mean not code breaker.
I should have
backstabber.
I should have added there with telekinetic force.
Kicks him in the stomach and hooks his head to his shoulder and drops straight down. I'll hit it with a stunner. Jenna from the side. Jenna's dad's ghost. Oh, hit him with a damn stunner.
Stone Cold Stunner.
That's a Skyler Grant Skyler. He sent him to the sky with that stunner.
Climb, Jeff, climb, become world champion. Oh wait, sorry, wrong thing.
Yeah.
We got a little too much of the pro wrestling. I'm like, yeah, okay, we're back.
Oh,
but yeah.
Oh my god, it's so fun.
Okay, overall thoughts of the chapter?
It needs work.
Well, of course. This is the only part of the entire story that needs work. Of course, it needs work. Everything in this book needs work.
But this in particular, first of all, perspective on once again where they are.
Oh, I know.
And how you have people behind a truck, and then somehow a whole bunch of vehicles show up. Or were they all... No, because they checked and they were like, those are the tanks. Okay. And then, all right, it's going to take me a moment to build my thing. They just, poof, they just showed up.
They never looked behind it.
I'm still...
when they got there, they knew where they were.
The trucks sit pretty freaking high. So everyone... Also, there is a sound of Jenna... That means that, Dr. King and everyone else was just standing there. And they were like, poof, they're here.
Yep.
Just wait.
Well, also, Frank is really smart, so they figured out where they're going to go. But, yeah, no, this is absolutely was a train wreck of his...
Also,
if you thought
they would have been in the crater.
If you looked at the interrogation fight scene, if you thought that was all over the place...
This is worse!
See, I was just setting you up for how crazy that one was and how you can tell the things are. This one, so you're ready for the main event of how insane it was. Also, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So when Skyler knocks him back and Jenna hits him with a bolt of continuous lightning.
Yeah.
Right next to the fence where the tanks is, and it's a massive bolt of lightning.
Yeah.
How did that not erupt the tanks?
Also, the smarter move would have been not to hit him, but to hit the tanks with that, while Skyler was hitting him with a disabling laser. But they had to go with the rule of cool.
Yes. It's a rule of cool.
Yeah. It's way cooler to electrify the guy who can constantly heal himself while absorbing the energy of what is trying to hurt him.
But he does have a limit.
Yeah.
Now you could make a case for that over time his limit would go up.
Well, yeah, because you get used to absorbing stuff.
But he's only had it for a few hours. So you could say I overkilled him by making his capacity way stronger than it should have been.
Yeah.
But we're in the final fight, so of course, he had to have superpowers.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he mastered his powers faster than Skyler did.
By the way, also, the three of them committed mass murder.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There were a lot of soldiers that Skyler injured, may have killed a few of them, but the explosion killed all of them.
Well, not their fault. Dr. King put them in that position.
I mean, at the same time, these kids were like, hey, we're going to blow it up with everyone inside. We don't care already. Which is weird because it's a facility that went from a single building to now a compound.
Now, here's the funny thing is, with Dr. Frank King saying that he was thinking about blowing it up, the natural thing would have been to, Jenna should have found out there was a natural way to destroy this thing, and you didn't need to go to the complex, convoluted thing I did.
Yep.
But clearly came up with that on the spot in this one.
It was all going to blow up anyway if you blew these up.
No, I mean, you'd have other... The facility was rigged to be able to blow up at a moment's notice.
Which was weird because she... Okay, so she can teleport.
Yep.
She can talk to...
Computers.
She's got empathy.
Yep.
And the ability to control the elements. She has 4 powers.
I actually think the empathy thing was an accident thing that I just came up with because I didn't.
Don't care. She's got 4 powers.
No, you're correct. She has.
Hillary has 1.
Well, we haven't developed her other powers yet.
Hillary got 1.
She hasn't developed her other 2.
Skyler has technically 2.
With his super genius.
Jenna is is not the main character, and she has 4 powers and is the most badass of the 3 of them.
Yep. But no, the empathy thing was probably because that was right around the time I came back.
Yeah.
So I probably forgot what that is, or I wanted to do something
to really show her connection. It's but the idea that she's constantly seeing people get killed in front of her is really bad and hilarious.
But the thing is, you look at when we find out that Jenna's powers are unlocked, she's mentioned she has the elemental powers. From the moment they get outside, she did thing, I can control elements, and she made a little flame.
Huh.
So that was there. She's never uses it until the final fight scene. But she mentioned it. Yeah. So I knew her 3 powers. The empathy thing, I don't know where it was coming from, or maybe I was adding a 4th power. I was going to give him 4 powers at this point.
Yeah.
Because I think the 3 powers may have been limited to 3 powers in my 2016 revision.
Yeah.
Reworking. I don't know. I'd have to go look through at the notes again, because I have the notes for each one separately.
It's just hilarious.
Well, yes, but the fact that I do love how I did hint at this power, for Jenna.
Yeah,
and then we never mentioned it again.
And then suddenly she's using it.
Yes. Oh, by the way, what did you think of Hillary mastering her shield? Her force powers?
Just like being able to do it no matter what.
Oh no, that's that. Putting it in the barrel of the gun.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Yep.
What'd you
All
think
she
of
had
that?
to do was just put one at the end of the barrel.
No, she put it in the barrel.
Yep.
And you laughed at that. You're like, what?
Okay. This is a girl who accidentally triggered her power when Skyler went to try to save her.
Well, when Skyler was getting beaten up.
Oh yeah, that too.
No, here's the thing. Actually, Hillary unlocking her power is actually better than Skyler's. Skyler just gets mad because he hears his girlfriend getting abducted.
She actually sees him getting hurt.
And actually trying to protect her.
Yeah.
Protect him and everything.
And then there's Jenna, whose dad died.
Yes, Jenna is dead.
And then she saw a 10-year-old kid get killed too.
Yes. Yes, she did.
With both times with pistols at point-blank range.
And then she decided to mass murder an entire facility. Oh, wait, that was Skyler. Because he's the main character.
Yeah, he's the main character.
And you know what would be cool? We blow up the facility.
We destroy the facility.
It's so cool. Even Dr. Frank King thought of it as a solution to the facility.
I like how him destroying the facility after, killing those kids. And the only thing that they were that facility was to do was to get him the gene,
Yeah.
then yeah, cool. I mean, that actually is a solid plan. He's going to destroy the place, probably blame it on some like terrorist organization, get the U.S. government to back him, and now say that these kids, if Hillary, Jenna, and Skyler had gotten away, that they're the ones who did it.
Yeah.
Even though they were also planning to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know if if Dr. King works for the government or not.
No. Though I did have, this is a spoiler, I cannot tell you which one it was for.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the 2016 vamping, but I could be wrong. It could be the 2013 books, but I'm pretty sure it was the 2016 one. It was going to be revealed that Jing's works for the government.
Whoa!
Yeah. FBI, I think.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, it was... Yeah, I didn't know
I
what was
mean,
going
it makes sense for him to be doing that. He was working undercover. Now he's, now he's trying to warn people about it. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, yeah, it was interesting.
And then eventually works for the FBI or the government.
Okay, now...
We don't know what organization.
I do have a question for you.
I have an answer for you.
You do?
I do.
Are you sure?
It's usually purple, but...
Well, that can't be the answer for this one.
Okay. I mean, it's not the right answer, but I said it's an answer.
That's true.
Aha.
So my question is, besides of not being able to follow the fight scene and where things were, what do you think the overall final conflict?
Mentally, I can see what you were trying to describe.
Yeah.
And yes, it is an anime fight scene.
Yes, it is.
And I feel that if more words were added and the descriptions were better, there is a great fight scene that happens in here.
And
the build up makes absolutely no sense because we basically go from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yes.
But Skyler being pissed at the guy makes sense. The guy just showing up there does not.
No, it could. It needs to be explained better how he knew where they were going to be.
Yes.
But at the same time, when he said they figured out what they were going to do, okay, he's a smart guy. Okay, they lease gas throughout this facility. They want to blow it up. Okay, how are they going to do that? Oh, they need gas. Oh, there's gas tanks over in this part of over here. Unite that travels through.
Yeah.
It hits these other things. Okay, they're going to be over there.
Also, the blast from those tanks is so large that it can easily take out about an acre of land by itself, and that's one tank.
Yes. So but the idea is, it makes more sense. It would have been also to say, like, okay, we found these. You go back through your
security footage.
Yes, I'm thinking of surveillance, but I'm trying to think. I was like, could not think of security. I was thinking, but surveillance footage, and you see Jenna appear there, which would then she would reveal that they knew what her teleporting power was.
I mean, hell, you could also have it be it was literally their plan to blow that up.
Yes.
And they were about to go over there, boop, 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 set their bomb, and they were about to all leave because that's where a gate is or something like that.
Yeah.
And Skyler's just like, and then you stepped out, dude.
Yes, it would have been. I think it would have been more funny is they're leaving because they're gonna blow up the facility a different way.
Yeah.
And he comes out ready to go, and Dr. Frank is like,
"What are you trying to do?"
He's like, "I knew." Like he's shocked. He's clearly shocked, but then he's like, "I knew you would be here."
Yeah. I knew that you were going to be here.
Because you were going to blow up the facility.
I mean, the reason I know that is because it's also my plan.
Yes.
I was going to blow it up with you in here. I'm destroying all the evidence. Now knowing you have nothing, you cannot go to people.
Yeah.
You must fight me now.
But
aha!
That would have been...
I can absorb all that you can give to me. That, by the way, also... there were some very, what's the word, homoerotic moments of Dr. King being able to take everything that Skyler was willing to give to him. Skyler had to push a little bit more to give him more. And it was just like, yeah, that it's in there. Only a dirty mind like myself would come up with that.
Of course you would.
Much like my mind would
15,
make a soaking
Adam.
joke.
Adam, he's 15. Wow.
He's giving it all to Dr. King.
Wow.
He's like, King, take it. Take it from me.
Wow, Adam.
Can you absorb more of what I can give you?
He's 15. That I just had sex.
Yeah, exactly.
Had sex with
You had a soaking moment earlier in the last chapter. Was it the last chapter?
No, it was the chapter.
No, it was the chapter before. The last chapter was the one page.
The last chapter should have been part of the chapter before that, chapter 43. But
yeah,
but yeah, it's it was interesting. And again, what would be cool? Basically, when you come down to it, I don't think I was thinking this over for the full thing, but a lot of times I probably was in the back of my head. What would be cool?
Skyler, when this rewrite of this story happens, it's going, you just getting, remember, no matter what, Skyler always does the coolest thing a 15-year-old would think of doing.
Which nowadays they could think of a lot of cool things.
Yeah, no, he'll be dropping in like his early stuff where he dropped in on like Batman to take out these guys. Him wearing a trench coat these days, not so cool.
No.
Like, just nobody does that. It's only the edgiest of edgelords. They're so edgy they almost cut themselves.
No,
the guitarist of U2 was going to be like, "Hey, can you cut it out? I'm supposed to be the edge."
He drops down in a cloak.
Yes. Like, I can actually see him being a little bit more of like a cosplayer and immediately like trying to dress up as if he was a superhero already and being like, everyone being like, bro,
no,
really?
No, see, that's the thing is that would be Jared.
Oh, Jared would definitely be.
Would do that. But he'd be being him like the cosplay, but trying to be cool like Skyler. No, Skyler would be the type of person in the woods. Instead of he may drop down from the woods, the trees.
Yeah.
Like he originally did, but not in front of him. You just drop down nearby and just casually walk up to him and stick his head into the huddle and like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And just wait for them to notice he's there.
Or he purposely is taking them out one by one.
No, he would sit there. Like, I can see him walking up and just sticking his head into the huddle, waiting for them to notice, and and he does it so subtly that no one actually hears him come up.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's just sitting there. And he's like, and then they go, "Okay, let's go." And then someone goes like, "What? Who are you? What are you doing here?" Trying to figure out what the plan is.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What's going on here? How are we going to take this girl out? Like, go away. Like
even better is having like Jenna should always be the actual ninja assassin in the group.
Oh yeah. See,
no matter what.
Skyler would walk in.
Yep.
He can be stealthy. He can be stealthy, but he's got to make sure people know he's there.
Oh yeah. Jenna, on the other hand, really wants you to not remember that person disappeared.
Jenna's the person who was like, "No, you're in my way." Poof, stab. Poof.
Even
Poof.
better is
and
she doesn't really even need to do stabbing.
No.
She just needs to go up on the roof once and then teleport up there and literally drop people.
No, she's just going to start grabbing people and teleporting them to a shark pit area and then where the Great Lakes are and just keep dropping them in there.
Sharks in the Great Lakes. Really?
No, I think a shark, great whites is what I said.
Oh, I thought you said Great Lakes. I would have been like, dude, there are no sharks in the Great Lakes.
That's what they want you to think, man. Have you heard about the great white who went over Niagara Falls? They're covering it up, man. I'm telling you, they're covering it up.
That's a freshwater area.
No, that's what they want you to think, bro. That's what they want to think.
Sharks need salt water.
That's what they want you to think, bro.
Otherwise, they die.
There's no difference whatsoever from salt water and freshwater. It's all the same thing.
No, one has high salt content. The other one does not.
That's what they want you to think, bro.
Oh, for crying out loud.
But, like, drops them in like...
And who is they? Dr. King.
Dr. King.
in his organization.
Yeah. Well, no, like just teleporting over the ocean and just dropping them where it's known for sharks to be consistently.
Oh, yeah. She would be, even if it's close by, she would be like teleporting them into a completely different room.
Oh, you know what would be even funnier? Teleporting them with Jenna around a force field just around, like, tight to their bodies.
Yeah.
But not them. And teleporting them into them at the bottom, the very bottom of the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean.
That's got to be some seriously powerful force field right there.
Oh, no.
And then just releasing it.
And yeah, and this once they get out there, they teleport away. The force field vanishes.
That is literally a meat paste in milliseconds.
Yeah, like the force field is the force field barely is even gone before like you're like.
No, it's
like force field is gone in a fraction of a second after the force field vanishes. You're dead already.
You just pop.
Yeah. But imagine doing that.
And then a bunch of fish there go, ooh, meat's on the menu, guys. Meat's on the menu.
The little fish thing with the little light bulb to draw the fish.
I don't even know. This tastes so good.
And they keep coming back because Jenna keeps teleporting right
exact same spot. And Hillary's working with her. They are serial killers.
Now imagine if Hillary got to the point where she could, instead of having to teleport herself with them, she could teleport.
You mean Jenna?
Yeah, Jenna. She could teleport you instead. So if she touched you, she could just teleport you to there, so she doesn't have to worry about the force field.
Seeing her walk up behind a group of soldiers and just one at a time, touch, touch, gets to the last one, he turns around, starts to say something to his men, and she's just like, just taps him on the shoulder. He turns around and he's like, what the hell touch.
It's like, where did my men
go? She's basically a weeping angel at that point.
It goes like, where did my men go? Oh, don't worry.
You'll join them.
You'll join them. You're about to join them. You won't see them, but you're about to join them. Like he goes to like swing, blocks it, touch,
poof, puff,
poof.
Hey, that was a big one.
Poof.
That was a big poof.
Imagine the air bubbles that kept coming. Like scientists like. I'd wonder how long it would take for the air bubbles from the very bottom to get all the way up to the...
They actually end up being absorbed.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So you know how funny it is? It's like enough air to teleport with them that it actually made it to the surface.
Oh, my God.
And the scientists like, we can't figure out. There's nothing down there that we can see that's causing
But every once in a while, a bunch of air bubbles come to the surface.
Make it to the surface. Like, we're trying to figure out, like, what's going on.
Like, it's disturbing the surface.
And we can tell it's coming from the very bottom. And they finally get a camera down there, and they just see
this. Literally, it's just like, suddenly there's meat and paste
and
in
blood there.
And they're like, what the fuck? Because it moves too fast for the camera to be able to see it.
Yep.
So yeah, boom, just it'll be like 4 or 5 of them right in a row.
Yeah,
and then nothing for days and weeks.
It's like
because she's a serial killer.
What's going on here?
She's like, this is for my dad.
But yeah, Jenna's dad is still dead.
My dad.
And Skyler is the main character,
obviously.
And the new one is Adam. Because he is 15, he can last 30 minutes.
Yeah, anyway. We should wrap it up.
But what do you think of the conclusion chapter? Like the stakes, not the stakes, the height of the story and the conclusion. Because we saw the epilogue for the wrap-up.
Yeah. It's weird. It happened too quick.
Of course.
We had no tension between Dr. King and Skyler or anyone. We had Dr. King is over there. Dr. King's over there. He's the bad guy. Yep. That guy's the bad guy. And then it shows up and he's like, I'll kill you all. Oh, I died.
Well, the thing was there was no the threat. I think what I was going for that was the idea that was it going to take to kill them, kill him. Also wanted to be over and done with. So,
you had two conflicting issues going on there. Now, if you had showed him earlier,
yes,
like being able to, like Jenna, Hillary, and Skyler had to escape,
yes,
because they were not getting any closer to actually defeating him.
yeah,
Okay, cool. And then they come back and they're like, we need to get even better.
yeah,
Okay, and you have that setback, and then like the time that they actually rescue the kids, Dr. King shows up. He's got the gene. He's absorbing energy, reflecting it back to them, and they're like, "Oh crap, we need to get out of here, otherwise he'll kill us."
yeah,
Boom, they're out. Second time they face him, that's when Jenna's like, "No, I'm gonna light him on fire. I'm gonna reduce him to cinders."
yeah.
And Skyler's like, "I'm going to, blast a hole through his chest. We'll see how much energy he can actually absorb." And Hillary's like, "I'm going to squeeze a force field around his head until it pops." And you're like, "Okay, jeez, Jenna." Jeez, Hillary. Jeez, Jenna. Skyler's like, they're like, "We all became real murder hobos, didn't we?" And they're like, yeah, we did.
The one thing I'm surprised you didn't bring up is the fact that there was an energy blast battle.
Yeah.
And that's not how energy works. It'll just go right through each other.
No, you did the Harry Potter wand attacks moment.
The Dragon Ball Z energy.
Yeah, it's
which a lot of people can believe is more plasma, because plasma does work that way. But no, I went with this energy blast. Like, yeah, I know. But I'm surprised you didn't bring that up.
Nope.
But
no, I mean, that was also fun with the amount of times that it was the energy blast that was against his other energy blast, and then they did a lot more of the energy.
Yeah.
And there was energy coming. I said energy like 5 times in one sentence.
Well, the fact that Dr. King had
one-handed,
and then he shot another one with both hand, the other one for Jenna. Like, yeah. But
now the idea that he can absorb energy for healing, that's awesome. That is a awesome bad guy ability.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Even better is it's a great there's a book series I'm listening to right now where there is a character that uses the energy to heal himself. He has no like outward ability to like actually use his energy. He can't use it offensively.
Is that Primal Hunter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, this character is not a good guy, not a bad guy.
Okay.
Very, very much a central, like, middle character.
Okay.
And yeah, it was like one of the first times you see him fight, he just fights a vampire and wears it down. To the point that the vampire stops fighting and dies.
Oh, wow.
Because it can't beat him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll wrap this episode up here. What did you think of the final climactic battle that was so easy to follow? It's not my fault. Adam can't follow it, but I knew exactly where everything was. Absolutely. I'm not lying. Adam, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
You are a liar, sir.
Yeah,
a liar.
I didn't know where anything was. But tell us down in the comment section what you thought of the climactic battle. Do you agree that it needed to be longer? There needed to be more of a the loss of hope. They're possibly not going to know how to figure out to defeat him here. Yeah. Let us know down in the comment section. But you made it to the end. I'm assuming you enjoying this, so why not hit that hit? No. Don't hit it. Blast that like button with a powerful energy blast. It's a prayer to the holy algorithm.
The holy algorithm.
And subscribe, because I got writing content on this channel. Speaking of that writing content, I'll have on the screen now the links to the other episodes of the Skyler Grant podcast, so just in case you're not caught up, so you can do that, or you can select the other one that will give you the best recommended video for you, and you can pick whatever you do. We'll see you there. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.